Please, please.
Come back on 1/3.
Please, whenever you're ready. Just let you good? We good?
Couple days in Seattle and then on the boat.
Oh, nice.
Passage and back to house. It'll be awesome.
You doing the Pacific Northwest and going through the islands?
How you feeling? All the inner passage of Alaska.
Oh,
And then
nice.
back down to Seattle.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, Annie, you look like a well-costumed character out of a Lord of the Rings movie.
I was just told I was in Pocahontas.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Told ya.
The whole Indian motif.
Well, you've had that costume idea before, Pocahontas and John Smith.
In order to sign, there's no one.
We need some chairs.
Would like a copy of the RFP.
We need some new chairs.
All right. We've only got two things to deal with tonight. We've got an RFP for a new truck with the fire department, and we've got a conversation with Superintendent Terwilliger in executive session. So why don't we deal with the...
No, we have the Nazarene Church.
Right, the Nazarene Church, it's a 5-second, they can provide the insurance, they're doing a vacation, they want to do vacation Bible school one day in the park. They have the insurance, they're collecting goods to donate to other people.
Did they pay you the fee to use?
They've asked you for, they have not given us the fee yet, but they have asked you to waive the park fee. It's in the email in front of you.
May I see
Yes,
your
ma'am.
request?
Yes, Sally, excuse me.
No, I want to see the request.
I don't have the request for
Oh, you don't have
Oh,
the
the
form
form.
itself.
The form we had at our
Yeah, I
last
know, but
meeting.
I forgot to bring it.
I didn't bring it up.
All right, they're covered by the insurance, $1 million event insurance policy.
What's the first
I
thing?
will move to approve it with the understanding that in no way the village of New Paltz is sponsoring
Okay.
Or sanctioning any
or
particular.
sanctioning. Thank you.
I'll second that. Is there discussion?
Are we waiving the fee then? Is that?
No, they have to pay
Okay.
the $25 and they have to do the insurance and they have to give her the $250 requirement for
So all
Cleaning.
other terms being standard.
met. If all
That would
other
be, yeah.
terms
The
and requirements are
customary
met.
park usage.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you see an insurance certificate from
No,
them?
so I know that it's pending receiving the insurance.
So Katie,
Okay.
could you read back the motion that you have in the minutes?
Sally is approving the request from the park with the understanding that the village is not sponsoring or sanctioning the event and that it is pending receiving the $25 fee, the copy of the insurance certificate, and the $250 deposit.
Is
Did
that
you wanna-
satisfactory?
Did you want to say we're sanctioning any particular, not only not sanctioning the event, but not sanctioning any particular religious use or anything like
Yeah.
that?
That would be good.
So qualify the sanctioning with religious use. Is that meet your
That-
needs?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, my second holds. Is there any other discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
And
Chief?
that's- I'm sorry, and that's
Sir.
approved, subject to the group meeting all other standard requirements. No fees are being waived
Right.
for any
Yeah.
of the usage.
She got that covered.
Right.
I just want to make sure it was
Yeah.
clear.
Thank
Okay, so I'm going to turn it over now to Will and the chief. Anything you want to draw our attention to in terms of the RFP, or is this at this point now just a standard legal document?
I have reviewed it. I reviewed it online yesterday afternoon, and the changes that you made, I really don't have any issue with.
Okay.
Right, and just to be clear, the reason for the changes and the things that we worked on is because in the competitive bidding process, you can't make the specs so specific and detailed as to exclude every other type of piece of apparatus under the sun. So it gives the opportunity for bidders, not just one particular vehicle that may or may not be available, it gives the village a better spectrum if anybody else wants to propose something that may or may not be acceptable to the fire department, whether it meets the specs or not. So that's why I took out a lot of brand names, manufacturer names, to make sure that there's no challenge, for several reasons. Number one, you don't want to, have a challenge where some other manufacturer comes in and says, these specs are so detailed that there's no way we can meet them, and it violates competitive bidding. And number two, like I just said, and hopefully the chief will agree, that it gives us the opportunity, if there is something else out there, not what we had in mind, somebody may come in and say, hey, here's something you might want to consider, and then we all look at it and say, this might be suitable or better or worse, and then we properly evaluate the bids. So that's the reason that the changes were made that Rebecca and I and the chief worked on.
Yeah, and I went through and I really have no issues. Like you said, he took out industry names like Akron Nozzle,
Right. Manufacturers' names. and things like
manufacturer
that.
names, and that's fine.
Okay, great. So you both are happy with what we have in front of us?
I'm fine.
Chief, you're happy with what we have
I
in
am.
front of us? Okay.
Rebecca?
So,
Yes.
so I'll move that we put this out to bid.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. Given your request for the off-field or off-road vehicle from the
vehicle.
last meeting,
Yeah.
are you prepared to absorb the cost of that within your budget if we go forward with this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's going to be minimal. And I think I can absorb that in my budget salary.
Okay, as long
Without
as we
question.
can do that, I
Okay.
think we can't be asking for all this new equipment without having some trade-offs.
All
Okay.
right, well, any
A
other?
couple other points of
Yes, please.
discussion. Number one, the bonding type situation is there going to be a bond for this, or is it going to be paid
It would be
through-
bond.
Okay, so are we doing that separately? Are we going to contact
Separate.
bond counsel? And, because we can put out the RFP now to see what's going on out there.
And just get some.
And
Get-
now,
get it
and now we
moving.
hand it to Nancy.
Right,
So that by
and
the
then-
time we get the RFPs back,
And we're
we're
going to
ready to
need,
go.
and right, because we will need the appropriate bond resolution, and we'll need a public hearing because of the bond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I would say is, with the motion to go forward with the RFP, to use the village's standard RFP and attach this as an exhibit, the specifications as we've worked on. So all the other things that we normally put in an RFP for a village purchase are out there. And then also direct the treasurer to contact bond counsel to start proceeding sort of on a parallel track.
So moved.
So that if the RFP is approved and meets whatever we're
Yeah,
trying to do.
understanding-
We're ready for them, yeah, we're ready
Right,
for them.
understanding that the village can accept or reject the bids depending upon what comes in.
Right.
And even if the bids are in the numbers that we're thinking about, the village still has the right not to move forward.
Right.
But might as well have bond counsel on board and start getting ready to roll on
You
it.
accepting those amendments?
Yes,
Okay, I'll second.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. With
Any
those,
other-
Still in discussion.
yes.
So what is the RFP process now? It gets printed in the paper.
Well, an announcement that the village is accepting proposals for a new piece of apparatus for the fire department. Copies of the request for proposal be available by the, from the clerk, will be available electronically for whatever fee is to do that. And
you want a pre-conference meeting on the RFP like you did with,
on something like this, it's a piece of
It's a-
equipment. It's not
it's
like,
pretty
it's not a
hard.
public works project
it's
where you
it's
would
cut and
want.
dry.
Right, where you would want a conference where
How long should the
That was my
RFP be
next
out?
question. What's the time frame? Only because I'm going away, I'm going to be away for a few weeks.
Normally, I think you leave it out for 2 months, don't you?
Depends on what it is. I mean, for something like this is very, even though we've taken out a lot of the
Stuff.
specific manufacturer's names, it's very detailed. I think, you
I
put
can
it
tell
out
you how many bids
60.
you're going to get. I mean, that's easy.
You're gonna get a couple.
You're going to get 3 bids.
Normally it's about a month. You run your advertisement for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And then you have a closing time around.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
But it's
thinking.
open a month.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks
You
plus
advertise
4
2 weeks,
weeks,
and then you
that's
get 'em.
6 weeks,
Yeah.
and then you need a week to analyze, right?
To go through everything that came in, right?
So that's 7 weeks, 2 months.
6,
You should be back by then.
I'll be long back.
yeah.
Okay, so what day do you want, we'll get the RFP out beginning of next week. I'm away the
30 days from Monday?
Oh, I think
For
it'll be
bids to be
longer.
due?
Yeah. Does that sound
Yeah,
right?
If we publish the announcement by next Monday, we'll do the notice to,
Are you going to have enough time to do that?
yeah, I'm going to be working while I'm away. It's just, I'm going to be away.
Well, you shouldn't work when you're away.
Yes, he does. He has to work.
Work is work. Okay, but-
Vacation
but
is
we need to-
vacation.
It's not a vacation. My son has a baseball tournament, so I'll have some downtime. So we'll get the announcement for the publication to the clerk by, for publication, hopefully for Monday. If I get it to you by Friday, they should be able to publish Monday. Okay, and then, the
So
bid
that's
packages, the
July
requests for proposals themselves, you're not gonna start getting requests for those for a week after that.
Do you want this? Do you want this request in the publication? Is it going in the local paper or is it going in the secondary paper?
That's up to the board.
I think it should go in all legal news, all of, it has to go in the Freeman and the local paper. And I also would think if you are willing to add it, or we can do it as a separate motion, that it might be advertised in a couple of other papers as well.
I'm not sure newspapers have the.
No, they
What I would
to
think,
get it.
if I may.
The fire, whatever.
If I may, I think we may ask the chief or compile it ourselves to provide a list of equipment manufacturers,
They all, I can certainly do that.
and
That's
then we
what I
can,
They all
email.
know that, they all know that we are in the market.
Right,
So
so
they're
that way,
watching.
they're watching, that way we can directly email them and say, we've made
Exactly.
this RFP. If you want a copy of the specs and the RFP itself, let us know.
I don't think we need it in the local paper because it's our weekly and the specific whatever firemanic journals or whatever they are.
That's why I asked for some data.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
I mean, there's about
Tell you what, why don't we do this?
7 manufacturers
My
of aerial
motion-
devices. That's about.
Amend my motion to advertise in the official newspapers that we have this year, as well as whatever publications the chief recommends.
Publications.
And-
With an X.
Publications, yeah.
And with the village having the ability to directly contact manufacturers and notify them that there's an RFP, subject to a list that the chief gives us. Which I
Very
think-
good.
right.
I think that's very good.
And that way we're covering everything.
Okay.
Any other
so
discussion?
when do we want it back? You said
30
30
days.
days. So 30 days from
From Monday.
Monday would make it August the 3rd.
Actually, if it's only going in as a publication to the New Paltz Times until Wednesday, do you need to do it 30 days after that?
That's why I excluded the New
So-
Paltz Times.
We'll do it 30 days from publication, from the latest publication. Amend my motion,
Okay,
Good.
let's check the calendar
so it'd be
here. Okay,
not Monday, but Wednesday, 30 days from Wednesday.
That's when they're due back.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
so Wednesday, August 6th.
sounds right.
And then we'll need to, yeah, it's a reminder that I'm supposed to be at a New Paltz meeting right now.
August 5th,
What's that?
be August 5th. It goes out on the 6th.
August 5th is Tuesday.
It'd be the 9th that it would go out on the.
And then when do they get open, or don't we have to put any of that in?
I don't think we
I
have to
think
put
it's
any of that
just
in.
due
It's
due
all,
by a certain date, and then we get together.
We examine the bids, and the clerk will examine the bids with the chief and report back to the board what the results are,
Okay,
with a recommendation.
all right. You got that? Okay.
all right, so that's moved and seconded, yes, Ariana?
Yep.
All that? Any other discussion? All in favor? So moved.
So moved.
Thank you, chief.
And
You're
Katie,
free, you're free to go?
will you have the minutes show that the chief has agreed that the off-road vehicle will be absorbed
Yes.
within the budget?
Yes.
Do you guys have public comment? Or you guys just here to?
I was just wanted to ask you something. Thank you. Tonight's meeting, for example, I don't follow every single meeting, so you could have announced at the last meeting what we were gonna be talking about tonight. But I went on to the website, John had such a great time for the walk on Thursday night. He said, when's the next walk? So I went onto the website to take a look so I could give him that information. I didn't see it, but I did see that you had a meeting here tonight. However, I went all over the website and I could not find an agenda. I could not see exactly what was going to be going on tonight. And with everything going on and everything that's going on in the village and so many people upset about so many things, I was concerned about what was going to be going on tonight because I didn't have an agenda. And I do have something secondary to say about that. How did I find out some of what was going on? Because somehow our clerk is posting on an alternate New Paltz Facebook site, which some people in New Paltz aren't allowed to be a part of. Some are not. Some are on it, then they get kicked off if some people don't like them. So if a resident who's not allowed on that site wanted to get information and it's being posted by our clerk on that site, it's a little difficult to get that information. We were here a little earlier about something else, and I could have gone and seen Katie, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. So I just kind of felt like the access wasn't really where.
You know,
I was
let me make a suggestion, Amy. One, because I don't blame Katie. This is me. I had the clerk post on Facebook in 2 different places. One is there's a New Paltz Facebook group, which has, I think, 1,200 people who live in New Paltz.
Right.
And the other one is if you like the Village of New Paltz Facebook page, the identical information is posted on the Village of New Paltz
One is
Facebook page.
censored and one is not.
No, it's identical information on both sides.
But
It's
one is
identical.
censored as far as the audience goes, because I know people that were kicked off of that Facebook site. So that's the frustrating part.
Sure.
It's not really that important.
You can get the information in multiple
But we
venues,
need to have
yeah.
access.
I'm going to interject here. Excuse me. Katie, are you posting on Alice Andrews' Facebook page?
Yes.
Yes, at my request, at my
Okay,
direction.
I'm sorry. I'm going to move that. It's totally inappropriate.
And it's inappropriate for you to make that motion.
No, it is not, because we have policies. This village has its own Facebook page, and we clearly said when we adopted the Facebook page that only village news information went on
And
that.
that's all that ever goes on.
You do not have the right to put a village public information on a private
Yes, she does.
Facebook. She doesn't.
I've instructed her to do that because it reaches an enormous amount of people who are
I'm
village
sorry,
residents.
Jason, I'm going to ask the
If
attorney
there's
for his opinion.
another group, then we can post on that
No,
as
you
well.
may not post on a private Facebook page. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
And I'm going to ask for a
I'm sorry,
written
not Bill.
opinion from you, Will.
Not Bill. John. Why did I call you Bill? Anyway, you look like a Bill for some reason.
The major problem
That's where he sends the bills.
is because that Facebook group page is very censored. It's very political. If you express yourself where some of the people don't agree with your opinions or your thoughts, then you're censored off that page. And there are a lot of people that do belong that are on that page that are not members of, don't live in New Paltz, you know.
Everyone is vetted everyone on it who lives in New Paltz.
Well, it's not, whatever, it doesn't, regardless, but it's a private page that's censored by certain moderators, and they take certain people on and off, and really you shouldn't be posting.
For
business.
decorum and public insults and stuff like that.
They're decorum.
It's okay, that's a subjective point of view.
Fair enough.
So the point is that these notices should be posted on a public site.
They are.
That doesn't have the opportunity
No,
to be
she's saying they
censored
weren't.
by
They are.
somebody.
They are. They're also posted. Oh, hold on. You know, John, give me a second because Sally is
I don't do Facebook.
Sally does not have the technical acumen of a 9-year-old like many people do.
I will agree, but I also do have propriety.
There's a neutral site. You can go to the Village of New Paltz has its own Facebook
That's
site.
correct, and we created that.
And that all the information is posted there. It's also posted as a public service to a group of 1,200 New Paltz residents.
Can I ask
object to that.
if we can get an opinion, not tonight, but
That's
fine.
from
Good
our
enough.
attorney?
Yes.
And then we could
The only
maybe
problem
move.
is, the only problem I have is, that let's say Jason, if you wanted to post something on that site, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Not as the village maker.
Sure, yeah.
That's Jason West. But when Katie posts it as the village clerk, as official business, it says
That's wrong.
That's all that.
Well, thank you.
That's the trouble.
Let me contemplate it and thank you for your
Well,
comments.
my concern, Jason, is that we have a village website which we have had a lot of questions about, even from our own planning boards and our own commissions and our own ZBA.
Which is being fixed.
that
We have the contract signed.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Official village business announcements and minutes absolutely, first and foremost, have to be posted on the official village website. And if they aren't, they certainly should not be being posted on a private, member-only Facebook page.
True.
Well, I don't think anything was posted on that was not posted publicly, is what both Katie and Jason are saying.
I brought it
But I think we should look, if you want to go back and look at our policy, then we can do that, because I could not speak to it right here to say whether or not
That's a fair
that
point.
there's anything in it that would prevent or allow, either way, this to be put on the private.
Well, I've asked for a legal opinion on the appropriateness of posting on a member, private-only Facebook page.
Can I just say one thing?
Please.
I will say that I have brought it up. It is on the front page of the website, of the official Village of New Paltz website, under public notices, telling you exactly what the meeting was going to be about tonight. It's on the official Village of New Paltz Facebook page, which has no chatter, none. I'm the only person who gets to put a poster, and there's absolutely no chatter. At the mayor's request, I did post it to the secondary Facebook site. It is physically posted in 2 places here at Village Hall. It was published in the Kingston Freeman, and I did check with the village attorney to make sure that I had covered every appropriate aspect of this extra meeting before I did it.
So I clicked on it and I saw it on the right-hand side, and I was only on it again because of the walk, just looking at the dates and places. And, I wanted to take a look, and I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, there was no information.
It's right
And
there.
I didn't click on it today, I clicked on it yesterday, so I don't know.
It's been there since the day it was announced in
When
the
I
paper.
clicked on it, what came up was nothing.
But thank you both for your concern. We're obviously looking into it, so thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Chief, you are free to go. There's nothing else for you.
Thanks, Chief.
And I move we go into executive session to discuss.
I want to deal with the filming question.
I don't think we have enough to deal with it right now.
Which
They haven't
question?
proposed any information other than
The company that
I
wants
love
to
that
do a
show.
movie here, do we,
Hey, we don't need to do anything.
Not right now.
We haven't really,
He's not ready.
are we ready to go for a hearing on Bren White's recommended amendment to 212? We had
We've
to
already
wait.
done
Huh?
that.
you've already
We did
done
Yeah, but we're all straight, seeker,
It went to
hearing,
the
everything?
newspaper.
Okay.
We've done everything appropriate.
Okay.
we have to do an EAF on it, but that's fine.
All right, I move we go into executive session to discuss a particular personnel matter. Is that how you phrase it?
Matters of personnel and the potential hiring or employment history of a particular individual.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. This is our last item on the agenda, so we probably won't be doing anything when